Good evening, and welcome to the 1927 Club. You are joined by me, Matt, and Mr. Rhys David Evans. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Not bad. Tired, but not bad.
Tired? How can you be tired? You're a young puppy. When you're tired, you get skin like mine. Red.
I'm in the 30s now.
Yes.
My eyes are bloodshot. Absolutely killing me, like.
Yeah, that's not from hard work. How's tricks up? But again, it's a weird feeling not having a football game to talk about on Saturday, isn't it?
I know. It's silly on it to have a Thursday game. I don't know what that's about, but again, at least the Jacks lost today, Wrexham lost today, so it's not all lost.
Yeah, we'll come on to talk about that a little bit later, I would imagine. So, for the guys who've tuned in to watch, thank you very much for tuning in. Obviously, me and Rhys haven't been on a podcast since the game on Thursday night, so we thought we'd jump on, give our pennies worth, and obviously interact with you guys in the comments and see where the evening takes us. We're a little bit earlier tonight because I have picked up another overtime shift in work, so I will be going to work this evening, so hence the reason we're on at 8 o'clock rather than 9 o'clock. But dive straight into Thursday, Embert. I don't want to be too negative if we can. I know a lot of people are looking forward to you having a rant. But what was your overall opinion of the squad or the team that started then? There was 3 changes, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was surprised. I thought Matt Turner didn't do nothing wrong on against Peterborough. I thought he was on. It's a tough decision to drop him after that performance, I think. But then you've signed a new keeper, so you obviously want to see him what he can do. Disappointed to see Chambers come back in. I'm surprised to see Willock come in, if he wants to. I mean, I know Ashford wasn't on for the best game of his career, let's say, against Peterborough. But we know Willock doesn't offer much, and I just don't see why he was brought into the squad. I would have much preferred a youngster come in, some bit of pace, directness. But at least we didn't lose. That's all I can say at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing in it. I think Port Vale, and fair play to Darren Moore, he's a good manager. I think you'd mentioned previously, hadn't you, when he was looking through managers and things about how good he is and the jobs he's done in the places he's been. And I just think he got them right up for it. They were more hungrier to get to the first ball, second balls, weren't they? And they just looked as if they wanted it more than what we did. And
it's not a worry, but again, every time we come up against teams away from home now this season, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to be up for this game more than we are, and it's just how we react. And the annoying thing for me was like you can sometimes Port Vale can play such a good game, makes you look bad, but we just look bad regardless. I mean, the crossing in the box is poor, movement off the ball sometimes is poor, reading of the ball, positioning was poor. There was so much wrong with it. I know the manager said afterwards, though, some players weren't in the positions he wanted them to be in. I'm thinking, all right, you can understand that. But then, I mean, how many times did Tanner put a cross in and overhit it? How many times did Willock do the exact same thing? It's basic things like that it was.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? It was disappointing, I think, especially after the solid performance at home the week before against Peterborough. I think we were all hoping that he'd kind of follow suit. And I think it probably brought us down a peg or two, I think, and realised, this division's not going to be a walk in the park. And I don't think anybody probably thought it was going to be a walk in the park. But I think it just reaffirmed how difficult this league is going to be. And, teams are not going to allow us to play football. The amount of shirt pulling and that, it was bonkers, wasn't it? And it's just going to be scrappy, I think, away from home.
But then the thing is, though, you need players off the ball, finding space and stuff. I mean, every time they were on the attack, Port Vale, there was players in space waiting to receive the ball. And we just couldn't get close to them on the press. But the moment we had the ball, it pressed us and it just killed us. We've got to be smart about picking up movement, give and go. And again, we had chances. We got in dangerous positions in the final third. We just couldn't do nothing with the ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, you think if you put a decent cross in, you've got players in the box who go on the end of things. But I think they looked a bit panicked, I think they did. I think they weren't expecting Port Vale to get in their faces as much as they did. They were expecting the crowd to be like that. And I think a few of them crumbled a bit.
Yeah. Again, a lot of them probably not used to that small stadium, that atmosphere, I suppose. You don't know how people react in different situations. It would have been I think somebody put it in the WhatsApp group earlier that, gone are the stadiums now where you go into like Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, the big stadiums. We go into these 10, 11, 12, 13,000 capacities, and it's going to be tight, intimidating. But I don't think it was a sellout there either, though, was it? There looked plenty of seats still.
Again, it's a good crowd for a Thursday night, but I guess it's just one of those. I think the best teams, if they play bad, they just don't lose. And again, it's just 2 games in. We got 44 more games to go, so it's not as if there's anything to worry about just yet. I mean, how many teams have we seen lose the home game or the first game of the season, or drop points first 2 games of the season, and then have a stormer? So again, it's nothing to worry about. It'll take about 10 games, 7 to get going. But just win our home games, and we'll pick up points on the road, and that's what promotion teams do. So nothing to panic about.
No, nothing to hit the panic button for just yet. But no doubt there are plenty out there who are. But yeah, let's just try and stay on that crest of a wave. Like we said, we're undefeated. 2 games in. I think Rotherham up next, which is a home game next Saturday. Obviously, we got that cup game Tuesday. Yeah. If I deviate slightly off talking about the game on Thursday night slightly and go towards Tuesday, how do you think we'll kind of set up on Tuesday then? Do you think you'll give a lot of youngsters a go? Would you like to see majority of the squad playing Tuesday?
It'll be rotation, so it'll be Callum Robertson will play up top. You'll have like Will Spears maybe a right back. You'll probably see like Eli King come into midfield and the rest like Ruben. It'll probably Turner will be in goals, Alwick on the bench. It'll be things like that. It will. I like to see what Fish and Lola together. I like to see what their partnership can do. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Chambers, and that'll be funny. If I never see him in the Cardiff shirt again, I'll be more than happy. I don't want him near the squad. I want to see what them 2 can do together. But yeah, it'll be a rotation, really, I think. It'll just be like some of the sub-players will be coming on, starting in games. So it's just one of those, isn't it? You do want to put a few youngsters in to give them game time. Like Nayakawa, I can't say his name, but I like to see some like that get some minutes, if I'm honest to. Against league opposition as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit catch-22, really, and in the sense that I'd like to go as strong as we can just to try and build some momentum and maybe keep the youngsters for that Virtue Cup, really. But then again, I suppose, the game's coming thick and fast. People got to have a bit of a break as well, type of thing. So I get that as well. But hopefully we'll put a side out that'll do the job on Tuesday. So going back to the game then, and we'll talk about Nathan Trott. And like you said, you were surprised he comes straight into the starting lineup. Matt Turner, like you said, didn't really do anything wrong against Peterborough, and I thought it was a little bit harsh. I thought perhaps Trott might have played Tuesday night and Turner would have, had the nod again. But he made that call. Obviously, he's getting paid the big bucks to make those decisions. What was your opinion of his performance?
I thought it was a decent game. I thought he was calm with the ball at his feet. He looks comfortable with the ball at his feet, mind. And we see other keepers panic in that situation, and it is a worry though, because you don't want to keep trying to take a defender on or a striker on. Sorry, you don't want him trying to outsmart his player. You do want him to pass the ball and give it a go. It is a bit hard, a bit tough though. Again, I don't want to criticize Chambers again, but when you see him get the ball, he slows everything down. He stops. He takes too long to look where he's going to give the ball. The time he does give the ball, the press is on and we're under pressure. So I would like to see it be, something else there. So we see the ball move a bit quicker. I think he did lump it long once or twice as well. So I think that's something good to see. I think Alwick did it quite often as well. When the pass was on, Alwick would make the pass. When it wasn't, he'd lump it long. That's what Trott did. I'm happy with that. I like to see him. I like to see what he's like after 10 to 15 games when he has a better relationship with the defenders in front of him. It might take a little while for him to become more commanding of his box, but become more commanding of the defence and getting them to know what he wants. But I thought he had a solid game. I mean, we drew 0-0 as well, so we didn't concede. So it's a decent start for him and a confidence boost.
Yeah, agreed. I think, like you said, he did look comfortable with the ball at his feet. I think he did play outfield, didn't he, until he was a certain age. Was it till like he was 15, 16, I think? Might be older than that. I'm not sure. But, he does look comfortable with the ball at his feet. His distribution weren't too bad. I think he had one or two potentially that went a little bit wayward, straight out and things. But, considering it was his first appearance, had only a handful of training sessions with the squad. I think, obviously, he's only going to get better and better, I think. The thing that concerns me is how long is it going to take till we find a steady front four or three in front of him, and how long is it going to take for the manager to realise who we need at the back?
I've been screaming this for the last since he joined. I think we've seen the last. Again, I'm not to be nasty, but Chambers is not a centre half. When you think of proper centre halves, you think of Sean Morrison, Bamba, Aidan Flint. They read the ball, they read the game, they get stuck in. They bully the strikers. They let them know they're there. How many times did we see him, misread the ball, challenge for the ball, follow the position, leave a massive gap in behind, not win the ball, and then, he's cost us a bit, Chambers, I think. He shouldn't be captain. I think we do need a proper centre half. I think it will take a while. I think Fish not going to really come on mind. I thought Fish was those things. He was getting stuck in. He's put his body on the line. He was reading the game well. So I'm really impressed with him. I think it's going to be a case of, does the manager stick with the same back four now for the next, till January, and then realise he has to make a change in January? I don't know. I do worry that Chambers will make more mistakes. That's my big worry, because he's got it in him.
Has Jesper Darlin picked up a knock then? Because obviously he came on last week, didn't he, against Peterborough? I was quite impressed with him when he came on for Lola last week. But obviously he wasn't in the squad this week, was he? No,
it's a tough one, because again, right now you've got Fish, Lawler, Chambers. There's four strong centre halves fighting for two positions. You've got Bagan, let's be honest, Bagan looks better as a centre half than he does a left back as well. So he's got to work hard. I mean, the cup game will be his chance now on Tuesday. He'll probably start that, and it'll be up to him to show what he can do then. Get a good performance in, give yourself a chance to get the start for next Saturday.
Yeah, no, agreed. Young Ronan Kapakio then, what was your opinion on his performance?
I'm impressed with him. Really impressed.
Solid performance for me.
To be fair, I think all the young lads did had a great game too. I don't think you can criticise any youngsters. Kapakio looks like exactly what we've been missing for a while now, is pace at the right back. Nothing is Perry.
He's not afraid to get forward either, is he?
This is it. Nothing is Perry and G. But last season and the year before, how often did we see Perry go forward and then get beaten with the ball in behind him because he hadn't got the legs to get back in time and start? And it's just all the time. I think with Kapakio going forward as well, he offers support to the winger on the underlap. And again, he can put a ball in the box. It's great to see. I do like Kapakio. You can see why Bellamy's a big fan of him as well. Like, he's got a big future. I'm glad he's getting minutes now. I think he's beyond starting right back for me now. He is.
Yeah. Mixed opinions on Lola again. I thought, he's still a youngster, so we expect him to make mistakes and things. But I suppose he come off again around the 60-minute mark, didn't he? I think Brian Barry Murphy said that he could see him stretching. His hamstring was a little bit tight. So I don't know whether that's him protecting the player kind of thing or not. But again, another solid performance, really. He does have to beef up a bit, I think, and he's got to realise he's going to be manhandled a little bit this year. Yeah,
it's how many footballers have we had on previously, and they've said the same thing? When you go from under-21s to first-team football, it's definitely massive. You're not playing against the under-21 dolls now. You're playing against proper men who are going to try and bully you. The dark arts, do you know what I mean? They're going to leave an elbow and stuff. And I thought he dealt with it okay. I didn't think he had a bad game. It'll come. I mean, it might take 10 to 15 games, but he'll get there. And again, he's a youngster. We'll be patient with the youngsters, the Cardiff players. We expect them to make mistakes. As long as they're learning and developing, I'm more than happy for them to keep playing.
100%. Callum Chambers, then, obviously you've mentioned him once or twice. For me, I'd pick him to play again Tuesday night, I would.
I wouldn't pick him aside again at all. I'm not going to lie.
No, I know you've done things, but I think he's got something to prove, hasn't he?
But we've been saying that since last season. I mean, in the end, it got that bad last year. He got dropped from defence and put in midfield. And it's one of those where he was so bad in defence that anything else he did was an improvement. I don't think he's a great 6. I don't think he's better at 6 than what we got. I don't understand what he offers. This is someone who's played at Arsenal and Aston Villa. And you look at other centre-backs, we've got like Fish and stuff, and you're thinking, these look ahead of him already. They shouldn't be looking at that. I'm not being funny. If I'm an opposition player now, I'm saying I'm targeting him. Every game I'm going to target him. His reading of the game is shocking. How many times does he come out to challenge a ball, get nowhere near it, get exposed at the back then, and just beat him for pace? It's wild how he's capped it. I'm absolutely stunned. I genuinely am.
Young Joel Bagan on the left. Like I said, I think he hasn't lit the world alight, as he the first 2 games, bless him. But I just think he needs that bit of competition there as well. I know, obviously, we got Louis Giles and what's the other youngster who can play left back as well.
Phil with me, I think. I think Mafiko played left back in the first season. Sorry,
Mafiko, yeah.
As I say, I'm not going to put too much blame on Big, and I don't see it a bad game, nothing. I think if you look at the right-hand side, for example, right, Kapaka goes forward. Tracking back, you got Tanner doing a lot of donkey work, let's be honest. Defensively, Tanner was really good for us on Thursday. He was tracking back and stuck in. Same when Ashford came on, they're running back and stuck in. Willock doesn't offer that cover defensively. So it's Big on his own at that point then. And I think when you see Willock do drop back, it doesn't offer much as in the defensive role. He just looks like a lost sheep, like he just stood there. So when we hit on the counter then, he's too slow going forward. I would love to see a Carlon Grant ahead of Bagan. I think he'd help him out so much as well. Or Dowda, if he kept Dowda over left wing. I mean, he just needs a bit of support ahead of him, I think that's all. And if he gets that, I think you'll notice his game is improved. Or I think he did get a bit lucky though with the red card, the challenge. I think he gave the referee a decision to make. Regardless of whether he was connecting or anything, I think you give the referee a decision to make at this level. You've seen how poor some of the refereeing is at this level already. You give him an option, they will take it 9 times out of 10. So I think he did get lucky with that one.
Yeah, we'll come on to the refereeing a little bit later. We'll stay on the left-hand side then, and you've just mentioned him a couple of times there, Chris Willock. Again, what was your opinion on him?
I don't believe he's a wide player. I think he's a 10. I just don't think he's nowhere near the level of Ruben or anyone else that can play 10 for us. And that's not a criticism against him. I think he lacks the pace to beat his man. I think he tried once or twice on Thursday and he got past him, but then his final ball was shocking. It was either trying to cut it back onto his right and he gave the ball away, or he whipped it in and he totally overhit it. I don't see what... It was crying out for a bit of pace, I reckon, on the left. I said during the game, I would have put Tanner left, and if I had the chance, I would have put Nayakawa on the right, just to see what he done. I don't think Willock is worth what we pay for him, but I'll support him until he goes. But yeah, I just don't see it, if I'm honest. I don't know what he offers.
Yes, struggling a little bit at the moment. Ryan Wintle.
It's a decent game. To be fair to him, I said sell him. I wasn't a fan after his celebrating Bullock going and stuff. And the Andago with fans as well before he left us. Couldn't get the Millwall side. I said sell him. To be fair, he's had 2 decent games. I still think we need to strengthen the 6. I think we could do better. But to be fair, I've got no criticism of him so far. I think he tries to break up play a bit. My only annoyance with him was I think he tried to look for the free kick a few times. He'd go down a bit too easy, hoping the ref would give the free kick. They don't. If you've got to stay up, you've got to be strong. Otherwise, again, they go on the counter and he scored past us because he was trying to win a free kick, trying to be smart. Stay on your feet, get rid of the ball. Just do those basics.
Ruben Caldwell.
Quiet game for me. I think they put an extra man on him, and I think nothing against Ruben. I think when teams put 2 men on him, I think we seem to struggle with it.
Yeah, we got to have a plan B, haven't we? Simple as, they would have watched highlights of him against Peterborough and how much he tore it up there. And let's be honest, another day he could have scored 3 or 4 goals against Peterborough. And I think obviously fair play to Darren Moore. He's done his homework. They put pressure on him, didn't allow him to get into the game really. And that takes most of our creativity away if you keep him quiet.
I was a bit disappointed to see Joel come off before him. I thought Joel was on a better game. I thought he was getting stuck in and he was breaking a play and he's making things happen. I think at that point, if Ruben is being man-marked up to the game, if you do take him off, all of a sudden the player who's been told to stay on him, his job's gone basically. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden now he's got a free role, so he's not doing the man-mark anymore. So it does sort of free up other players. So I would have taken Ruben off. Again, it's nothing against him. He's not going to do it every single week. And I think it would be silly to think he can do it every week. I just think while he is getting upmarked, others have got to step up now and start creating chances and put a shift in. Yeah.
You mentioned Joel Caldwell there. I think he had a yellow card again Saturday. Was that 2 in 2 games he've had now?
I think so, yeah.
Did he have a yellow card the first game? I'm sure he did.
I know he had one against the Vale. But again, I loved seeing it. He's tenacious, isn't he? He just gets stuck in. He's got a bit between his teeth. I mean, fair play to him. He looks like he's playing championship football for years. I know it's League One, but he looks like he's settled in right into it.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably one of our better players on Thursday night. I thought he looked really good. I was disappointed to see him go off, subbed off. I would have kept him on and put Turnbull on for Ruben. But yeah, I was really impressed with Joel.
Ollie Tannen on the right-hand side.
Again, defensively, I thought he did a lot right. I thought he helped his right back. He came back, running from deep, got in good position, stayed wide. That cross, how many times did we see that cross go in and he overhit it? I don't know what was going on, but there, you do expect better. Again, can we chalk up to one bad day in the office, hopefully, and then we'll move on. Hopefully, we don't see that again. But you can see he was getting frustrated.
It wasn't just him with the overhit balls, was it? There was a number of them, free kicks. It just seemed bonkers, and I know there was a few rumours about the PSI in the balls have been changed, or I don't know if you've seen that, but I don't know. I don't know.
But again, you get the same ball to warm up with, I believe. You all get balls to warm up with, and even if you are realising it's a bit flatter, I'm pretty sure after the 5th or 6th cross you make, and you realise, this is a bit too heavy, maybe I should have put less, my foot to a little bit less. I mean, I don't know if Port Vale trained since Saturday with that same one ball and all of a sudden they just worked for them, but they didn't have no problems. And again, if you want to beat teams, you've got to adapt. You've got to be able to adapt. And again, teams are going to try the dark arts against us. Teams will try and make the pitch narrow. Teams will try and give you less room and space in the ball and things like this. You've got to be able to adapt to it. And I do think this is why we do need an experienced League One sort of player in amongst that team somewhere. That's going to help some of these youngsters get through these games like that.
100%. Yusuf Salek up top then. Didn't really have much service, did he, in fairness to him? Took a whack in the mouth as well the first couple of minutes. And I thought the player was lucky, really, not even to get a card, considering he gave him a good whack in the chops, didn't he?
I did notice they were trying to wind him up as well, wasn't he?
I don't know.
There's a few times you could see him just trying to wind him up. There was, and he wasn't biting, but he was getting wound up. You could see that. I do think it's something we've got to be very wary of this year because defenders are going to start pinching him, chucking their elbows into him. He didn't get the service. But again, it's hard to judge him because if you're not getting the service as a striker, there's not much you can do. If you drop deep to get the ball, there's no one ahead of you, so you can't actually play it off. So you can't really criticise him for that game. I mean, it's give him service. If he misses his chances, then you can say something. But we just didn't provide it, didn't we?
Yeah. We'll talk about the subs quickly. Obviously, Will Fish and David Turnbull come on, and Cian Ashford. There was a triple substitution on 61 minutes. Like you said, Will Fish looked strong, didn't he, at the back?
Yeah.
What was your initial thought? Obviously, David Turnbull come back into the squad after being dropped for the Peterborough game. Any initial thoughts on David Turnbull?
I am impressed, to be fair. He always wants to get on the ball. He wants to make things happen. And to be fair, he's picking up good pockets of space. He's trying to get the ball forward, putting the ball in the right positions. I think he keeps doing that. it'll start ticking for him. It'll be fine. I just think he came on. I think, like I said, he came on for the wrong Ruben. I think if he came on and played not as a 10, but a more advanced 8, I think he'd have had a better game with Joe next to him. I like to see him start on Tuesday night now, if I'm honest, to give him some minutes in the legs, because again, 30 minutes a game is not going to do a lot. It's not going to be a massive thing for him. So give him 60 minutes now Tuesday, 70 minutes. Let him try and dictate the game. Let's see what we can get from him.
Yeah. Kean Ashford, I think he came on the right-hand side, didn't he, on Thursday? Better position for him, do you think?
Yeah, I prefer him on the right-hand side to the left. I think he tries to run at his man a bit more on the right. It was a tough right, though. I don't think we got the ball to him enough out wide. When we did, we were trying to come narrow to get the pass rather than look for the cross. So, but again, he didn't do anything wrong. I think he tracked back as well. He did well tracking back defensively. And again, it's things like that. I think disappointing team performance, but individually, I think most some could say they had a decent game.
Yeah. Callum Robinson then come on late on, 77th minute for Yusuf Saleh. Again, really didn't have much to do, did he?
Not much service. It's tough to try to feed the ball into him. He reminds me of false nines. He drops a bit deeper to pick the ball up. We just struggle again. It's similar to last year. We just struggle to feed the strikers any sort of chances. Disappointed to see Isaac Davis come on after 93 minutes with only 2 minutes to go. You're looking at, no offense to Willock, you're looking at his performance and you're thinking he could have been dragged off a lot sooner. So I don't know if it's a case of Isaac is not knowing you're ready to play 20, 30 minutes, but if that's the case, he shouldn't be on the bench. He should be a youngster who is ready to go.
Yeah. Right. Before we dive into the comments and say good evening to our lovely followers, just a message from Sai just to help promote what's going on over the next couple of days on the channel. So tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, part 1 of the Omar Reza interview is out. Part 2 will be out at 7 o'clock on Monday evening, followed by an injury time Q&A live debrief to discuss and for people to moan about what he didn't ask Omar Reza. And hopefully he might have a special guest with him on the Monday show as well, but that's not confirmed yet. So, yes. But that's what's coming up over the next couple of days. So looking forward to seeing the Omar Reza interview. So part 1 of that's out at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. So stay tuned. Right, let's jump into the comments because there's plenty there. Jumpers for goalposts, I love that. Evening all, don't be despondent after Port Vale. We could be managed by Steve Bruce. In BBM, we trust. Yeah, exactly. And let's be fair, like you said earlier, Reece, as away from home, scrappy performance. We were lucky to come away with a point, I think. We just got to take them points and move on and build again.
I think we looked a lot more clued up what to do with the ball on our feet. Now, how many times did we see previously we left back or pass to the centre half, back to the right back, then go back to the left back? We were looking to get the ball forward, passing on the floor, looking for runners, looking for the overlap. You can see it's there. It's just going to take a little while to get going. But once it does, I think it could be something special. You can see he's a student of Pep, can't you?
Macanish 7, Rangers 1, D1, come on the D.
I'd seen that. I tell you what, Rangers got lucky again. In the league, they are awful a minute.
Gutted for Russell Martin. I am absolutely gutted.
Did you see the Motherwell game last weekend?
Yeah, threw all the players under the bus, didn't he? One by one.
Typical.
Jack. Cardiff need a Simon Murray. He is 33 and wasn't playing today, injured. But he organises and runs his socks off. A real leader and captain. Yeah, there's a few of them we need in that squad, I think. Buddy. Evan James is in the house. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. I wondered how long it should take. Tete getting injured before Chambers scores an own goal. Madness. So, yeah, apparently Keanu Tete come off, or he went on as a substitute and didn't last 20 minutes today, did he? I don't think he came off groin injury, I think.
Another one we should have given a 2-year deal to. That's wild, that is, to me.
2-year deal and then out on loan for Don't forget your sun cream this week, Matt. It'll get a lot worse before it gets better. Cheers, buddy. Somebody else says the same. Yeah, burnt my shoulders, did I? Yeah. 3 changes that seem to kill all momentum. It's going back to the start. Evan James says he'd much rather play Nayakawa, who struggles with the end product, than Willock, who can't even give us the starting product. Evening, Graham. How's tricks, buddy? Atete and Kiefer got injured today. Not like them to be in the physio room. Yeah, I think Kiefer Moore had a bad one as well, didn't he? Ligaments, I think, or something. Oh. So my biggest concern there then is that you've got to kind of take the Wrexham thing out of the situation and realise that Wales got Kazakhstan next month, and potentially then you're losing players there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is it. I'm surprised you went for 2 million, mind. I think I was cheap. But again, I'm not being funny. I said to you the week, I think Sheffield are going to struggle this year. I do not rate Ruben Sellers. I think he's going to change Sheffield United, and it's going to have a bad year. They're not going to get relegated. I think they'll miss the playoffs. I think they lost 4-1 today as well, they have.
Yeah,
but to sell Kiefer Moore for £2 million, what a steal that is. Even at his age, what he'll offer you, he'll link play up, hold the ball up. And for a team like Wrexham, who's just trying to survive the first year, fantastic signing.
Evan James says, we could do with signing Port Vale centre-back Jesse Debra. Been quietly doing some scouting for potential signings. Again, I didn't think he was that great, really. He had a couple of opportunities from corners that he had his head on, but he's just like wrestling Salic and hands and hands and pulling shirts everywhere, man.
Oh, I got so frustrated watching the corners and set pieces. How many times do we leave runners go and give a free header away? I think Wintle left the runner go twice. I just watching it so frustrating because when we see us in the set pieces, we're static.
Yeah. Graham says some ridiculous reffing in every game I've seen this week. Yeah, I don't think the referee had his best game, did he, Thursday night? And I thought he was poor for both teams, not just Cardiff. But I think we've got to expect that now, which, you shouldn't have to expect it. But, I thought Port Vale were very unlucky. I think if we'd had VAR, I think the goal that was disallowed would have been very, very close. I think they hit the bar as well at one chance, and he'd give offside, and he was nowhere near offside. So I think we rode our luck massively Thursday night, in fairness. And like I said, he wasn't just poor for us, he was poor for them as well.
Big time, yeah.
Jonathan says, Christian McFarlane from Man City under 21s on loan at left back is needed. Somebody I've not heard of, but must be decent if he's at Man City. Graham says, did someone step on a Tete while he was on the floor? I think Reece would have jumped on him.
Oh, again, I just don't see it. Like, our recruitment has been so poor for the past few years. I just don't know who's making these decisions.
Yeah. Capaccio played well. Can he survive 46 games? Not sure. I think it's going to be difficult for any of them to survive 46 games, and I suppose that's where his man management and game management will come into play. And he's got to look after the players he's got in his squad. I think NG is still a few weeks away, I believe.
Yeah.
Robertson's still a few weeks away, so we got players there to come back. But let's hope he continues to play like he has and how he started, because at the moment it's a breath of fresh air there, really, isn't he?
Like I said, it's good to see a pacey right back. Last time we seen one of them was Cody Dreamer, and he won Player of the Year after 6 months alone with us.
Yeah. Graham says Chambers can give a lift to Willock on the way out. Halftime Oranges, good evening. I still believe we can win this league, but we do need to recruit some older heads who can calm the ship in a crisis. Yeah, it's a fair comment, mate, and I agree with that. Also says, and if we are going to score more, we do need better service to Salic. So far, it's been lackluster. And I think, let's take no credit away from Port Vale. The way they set up and they played the game, they just didn't allow us to create anything, did they? And, they were better than that, simple as.
Yeah, they pressed us a lot better. Give us no time on the ball. We just struggled with that. When we did get the ball, they let us go wide with it. We just, like I said, overhit it. And just a poor all-round team performance was poor.
Yeah. Evening, Jamie. He says, hi, too many boys in the squad, need some tough grown-ups. It's also clear not every game is going to suit Salic. And why didn't Turner start? What was the tinkering again? What was with the tinkering again? Last season vibes. Yeah, 100%, mate. I think, obviously, we did chat about it at the beginning. I'm just catching up with the messages now, so we probably have covered it. But, I was surprised with the three changes, to be honest. I thought Trot probably would have been better coming in on Tuesday night. You don't know what not long-term damage, but how much is that going to knock Matt Turner's confidence? Thinking, well, I've done everything I could in the first game, and now I'm dropped.
You ride that high, and all of a sudden you dropped. But again, it shows, though, I think it shows a bit of trust as well that the manager's put him as his number 2, though. I mean, he's going to play now and again, I think, now and again. But does that suggest that Alnick's on his way out? Horvath's going to be on his way out. There's 4 keepers right now, otherwise. And you can now say Turner's a first team keeper. So that means we've got 4 of them. So,
and I think somebody posted in the WhatsApp group as well today that we're linked with another goalkeeper as well. I don't know if that was an old post that kind of come back up again today, but it'd be interesting to see. Halftime Oranges said it felt like a beach ball at times, going back about the pressure on the balls. I think we need real pace on the wing, a strong leader at centre-back, another left-back, another horrible leader at 6. Willock can move on for me. I did hear about the pitch being brought in and soft balls. I knew I heard it somewhere.
Can't disagree with any of that. We need a proper 6, someone who's going to get stuck in, a real centre-half, I agree with that, and a pace out wide. Something we've lacked for a few years is blistering pace.
Ashford plays better on the right, in my opinion. Yeah, I think we agree with her there. Halftime Oranges. Why do we play short corners when we've got a prolific header of the ball in Salic, who's 6'5" and taller than most opposition? No, this is a pet hate of Reese's. I know that, short corners, but I just think they do it to just try and pull defenders out of that box, don't they?
They do, but we do nothing with the ball.
Yeah.
We have no once that ball's been passed, we have no clue what to do with it. We then look to pass it across the box, and it goes out to the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and then it gets crossed in regardless. At that point, then everyone else has run out of the box. There's no one in there. I'm sick of seeing the short corners. We do nothing with them.
Yeah. Geraint says Willock was dreadful. Robson never jumps for a header. I tell you who's better in the air for me this year is Ruben Caldwell. I think a couple of times I said last year, it looked as if he didn't want to get his hair messy. But he's not afraid to go up for it now. It's the Swindon game, pay on the night. I think you can probably get away with that, Gav, to be fair.
It is pay on the night, I believe. I think if you pre-order, you save £2 or so. But I think we're all there that night, so under the countdown, we'll be under the countdown. So if you do see us, come over and say hello to us at least.
Yeah, 100%. Eric just says what you said then. You can pay on the night, or you can book online if you want to save a couple of quid. David Morgan, I don't know if this has been asked yet, but what's happening with the takeover talks? David, I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I take no interest in that whatsoever until it's in black and white. I haven't heard anything. all that type of stuff Simon normally covers on his podcast, if I'm completely honest. I haven't heard anything progress any further than what we already know, to be honest. I think Reece is probably in the same boat, mate, didn't you?
All that's how it was, like Dalman said, only one offer they take it serious. But like Simon said on the show, Tan's been advised what you're going to sell for. You could sell for 40 million now or 100 million if you're promoted. So it's like Si said, I mean, there was talk that they approached the EFL for permission and they approached the Welsh FAW to build again, wild stuff like that's coming out. Why would they not do that? You haven't agreed a fee yet. Stuff like that. So I think there's no progression. I think, like Dalman said, there is talks ongoing. There's one offer they're taking serious. That's all he said. My only frustration is, though, they've announced they're going to delay the training facilities.
Yeah, bonkers. Paul says we play short corners because we're not a big side. So a few teams this year will do it too. Should be addressed in some signings with taller players.
But you don't even have to be tall players. I mean, like Sheffield Wednesday last year, for example, right? We were 1-0 up against them. They scored from a set piece. All because they had runners in the box. For the corner, they had runners. We all stood around and didn't know what to do. If you get movement and you put the ball in the box, there's a chance you'll get deflection, you win a header. Anything can happen. You got to put the ball in the box first. We don't. We take it short, and then we have no idea what to do with it. And we just sort of pass it along the lines, lose the ball, and then get hit in the counter. Put the ball in the box. Again, if they're all defending the box, they can't counter us because they're all in the box. So don't give them a chance to get out. Put the ball in. Simple as that.
100%. I think this question's related to the takeover. If you listen to Anis, it's done and dusted. Take it with a pinch of salt. I think you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt until it's black and white, mate, haven't you, really?
Exactly. Well, especially with Cardiff.
Yeah, I mean, so many things. You go with like Gareth Bale, the Kiefer Moore transfers. It's just.
I remember Marcus Bent was growing up. Marcus Bent set to have a Cardiff. Last minute, Birmingham City phoned him and he went, I'm going to go there instead. And everyone was saying, he's signing for Cardiff. Until it's done now, don't believe on the bit.
Yeah. Mick Cardiff, good evening. Cian Ashford does play better on the right, but what I think is unfair on him is that he was never a wide player in the academy. Credit to him for how well he does on the right, works hard and strong. He is a tough worker, buddy, in fairness, isn't he? He does put a shift in.
And he runs at defenders. Something we've lacked for so long as well is that confidence. And if he doesn't beat his man, he doesn't stop. He tries again and again. Like we had Josh Murphy. If he didn't beat his full back, his head would drop straight away and he'd have a terrible game. If he beat his full back, he'd have a brilliant game. Ashford, to be fair to him, just non-stop, he tries and beats the man he does. So I'm more than happy for Ashford to keep trying that.
Yeah, 100%. Couple of more questions, guys. Another 5 or 10 minutes. We'll stay. Like I said, I've got to go to work. Graham says, we fanny about on the wings when it's there to be crossed.
So much. This is another pet peeve of mine. Again, it happened on Thursday once or twice, it did. And it's something that we did a lot last year. The ball will go to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. For example, I'm not saying it's Tanner, but it'll be Tanner with the ball. Ruben will be next to him. Kipake will come across. And then the other number 8 will come up there. So have 4 players in the corner passing the ball to each other rather than crossing the ball and getting runners in the box. If 2 of them went in the box, you'd have, the other winger, you'd have a striker, you'd have 4 players in the box then. But we don't. We sort of pass amongst ourselves. Then lose it. Just cross the ball. It's there to be crossed. Get bodies in there. And again, it's the deflection. You might get the end of it. If not, you give yourself a chance at least.
Yeah, no, 100%. There are a few people in the chat this evening who aren't Cardiff City members or Cardiff City World members, shall we say. There is information going across the bottom of the screen. There's a QR code in the top right-hand corner. So there's a couple of ways which you can support the channel. You can join via the YouTube channel and follow the information there. Or you can scan the QR code, which will take you to the Patreon channel. Any support that you are able to give us allows Si to keep creating content 7 days a week for you, which is much appreciated. I know he said he's been flat out over the last few days, so the midday shows and pods or whatever haven't been out, but they will be back early next week. But yeah, if you can support us for the price of a cup of coffee a month, it really does help. So if you do want to become a member, like I said, follow the information that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, or scan the QR code in the top right-down corner. And yeah, your support would be much appreciated. Arthur Busby, our Leeds supporter, is in the house. Dirty Leeds. Apparently Leeds have drawing. I don't know if that's a full-time result. If it is, that's not a bad result. 1-1 with AC Milan. And he goes on to say Luton Town will piss League One.
Oh, I don't know, man. They were awful in the first game of the season. I don't know how they're going today. But they're lacking a few things, I think, as well. But again, since early days, though,
they beat Peterborough 2-0 today, didn't they, I think?
Really? Again, it's for English football is wild. I mean, anyone could beat anyone. I mean, it's one of those where, you could, Leeds like they could pump you like Man United now, 3-0, and lose to Wolves 4-0 next week. It's football, anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%. Right, you lovely lot. Thank you very much for tuning in. A little bit earlier than, like we said, normally planned. We're normally 9 o'clock on the dot, but needs must. So thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned to the channel over the next couple of days because there's some interesting things coming out. Like I said, the Omar Risa Part 1 interview's out tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock. Part 2 is out on Monday at 7 o'clock. So stay tuned and we'll catch up with you all soon. No star.
Maxwell Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City, right with me for your Caesar.